This is TVM. TVM delivers breaking stories, global headlines, and the moments that matter. From exciting sports action to exclusive local events, we keep you connected. Celebrate our culture, people, and voices with powerful documentaries and inspiring stories. Experience premium entertainment, from trending music to urban lifestyle and beyond. Grow your spirit with life-changing messages and uplifting perspectives. Lead the way with bold conversations, fresh ideas, and thought-provoking shows. Wherever you are, whenever you want, watch TVM on all your devices. TVM, your world, your network.
Hello and welcome to TPI. I'm your host, Muyiwa. If you feel like the weight of the world is on your shoulders today, you're in the right place. Here, brokenness becomes turning points through stories of faith, healing, and hope found in Jesus. TPI is more than a show, it's a movement of grace. Get ready to be lifted. First up, a young man turns his paintbrush into a pulpit, transforming city walls into vibrant canvases of faith, using street art not to rebel, but to reveal God. Take a look at the bold beauty of gospel graffiti.
When it comes to religious art, most people think of stained glass windows or Michelangelo's famous frescoes in the Sistine Chapel. For some, it also includes graffiti and street art.
Show up the first day to paint. Finally, I just started coming by faith, seeing the progression happen.
Eric Diaz, who goes by AD, started as a graffiti artist in his teens and is still at it. AD's latest work is showcased in Chicago's South Side. This colorful mural, commissioned for an evangelistic shoe giveaway, recently covered by CBN News.
People, regulars, would come by, hug, I love your work, like smile from ear to ear. You're doing amazing, let's go! Like UPS drivers.
Today, his art is sanctioned, unlike the time he picked up his first can of spray paint.
I'm getting arrested. The police officers are like taking my spray tips, and like I remember them throwing them.
That all changed when he became a Christian. AD planned to leave graffiti behind. Then summer youth camp mentors convinced him to keep it up and remember to use a key Bible verse as his guide.
And they begin to use my gifts. They say, hey, we want to put some spray cans in your hands. So 1 Corinthians 10:31, a very special verse to me. So whether you eat or drink or whatever you do, do unto the glory of God. And I put that spray paint back in my trunk. And so now I began to do it for the Lord.
It's a principle AD instills when painting.
You know what Jesus prayed for 3 times? Father, if it is your will, take this cup away from me.
Preaching at summer youth camps, or while involved in his other passion, mentoring young kids.
We also go to where students spend most of their time already, their schools.
AD manages volunteers for Chicago's GRIP Outreach for Youth, where he and others help kids grow spiritually and gain important life skills.
I would not be getting my associate's degree, coming out of high school with my associate's degree. I would not be doing none of this if it wasn't for my mentor teaching me how to see life in a different way.
Having AD as a mentor is one of the most grateful and pleasurous things of having him. He's a great mentor.
Eric says projects like these used to be self-serving and filled him with pride. Now it's about community, painting positive messages and sharing his passion and sometimes even his paint with the unreached and the next generation.
He's found graffiti offers a way to connect with young kids, helping them navigate the pressures of growing up.
With the social media generation, there's no room for weakness, there's no room for poverty, so there's a lot of fronts. These facades, they don't come down until they know that you care about them, and then we meet that need and we show them the love of Christ.
Christian ministries like the Gospel Graffiti Crew show the art form has moved beyond rap and hip-hop culture. AD believes his work resonates on both artistic and spiritual levels.
We are longing for freedom, we're longing for life, for redemption, and somehow I think spray paint and graffiti captures that. It's like you see browns, you see grays everywhere, and then all of a sudden you're driving on the highway, or you see on the L, you see life.
The pride he feels on pieces like this one is not just personal, it's shared with his young audience, learning the ropes and gaining confidence, as well as the community at large.
I hope that he does more of these across the city, because it brings like a positive message to the city of hope, of life, sharing the gospel.
AD wants that positive message to last long after the paint peels or fades away.
I love AD's fearless creativity. He's not just painting walls, he's crafting messages that's leaving a permanent mark on hearts. Stay with us, because after the break, a woman's desperate search for peace takes a dark Welcome back. Our next story follows a woman who ran from a broken home chasing a better life, only to find herself trapped in the grip of addiction.
The highs were very high, at that time, but the lows were very low. I would feel just so worthless. I would feel like, what was the point of living? It made me feel so anxious. It made me feel so empty. And I just would do anything to get away from that feeling.
Samantha had been in and out of jail numerous times for her risky behavior. As she approached her 18th birthday, she was arrested for possession and knew she needed to make a change.
I didn't want to keep living this way. I was after the truth, and God led me to do community service hours at a church. And when I began to do the community service hours, the moment I walked into that church, I felt like I was home. And I was overwhelmed, just by the presence of God. I just felt like God was there, and I had to say something. And
in her life, Samantha was set free from years of drug addiction. Now she loves to share the gospel on the same streets she once found darkness and despair.
Jesus is my Savior. Jesus is my Lord. And Jesus was a friend when I had none. Jesus was a lover when I kept looking for something in this world. Jesus is a father to me when I didn't know what it was really like to have a father in my life. When I think back on all those things that I did, and to think that God forgave me is overwhelming to me. His mercy is overwhelming. His love is overwhelming.
I need you today. This is my prayer. Lord Jesus, I pray for my brother and my sister who've said these words. I ask you that by your Spirit you would let them know your presence. Let them feel the covering of your love right now. Every ounce of depression, confusion, every ounce of pain that they've struggled with, emotionally, physically, will be removed from them now to the glory of your name, that they might know that Jesus, you are the way. This is my prayer today. Amen. If you need prayer or want to know more about Jesus, message us on WhatsApp and someone from the team will reach out to you. Viewers in the US and Europe, you can call us on the number on our screen. Reggae and Calypso artist Positives hits the TPI stage. You don't want to miss it.
There was a song I wrote called Mighty Healer. We serve a mighty God. And then
we play all the time. Oluwa is mighty, yo.
Yes. So I remember there was a lady and she was battling with an illness, and she said she was at her lowest point, and she just said that song brought her through.
Welcome back. My next guest has gone from the beautiful island of Tobago to the global stage. Artist Positive isn't just a musician, he's a messenger with a mission. He joins me today to talk about faith, passion, and breaking boundaries with the gospel. Positive, thank you so much for joining us.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having me here.
So I want to jump right in. You say, one of your lyrics, you say you want to put a smile on the Father's face.
Yeah.
How do you stay true?
So I believe that the least that I could do is give my life fully to Him and really live according to His statutes.
Now, Positive, you're a man that some people would complain that they can't pin you down because 1 minute you sound soca, 1 minute dancehall, 1 minute EDM.
Right.
What informs those choices as to where you go?
Well, in the Caribbean, we have such a huge demographic of varying cultures. You know, right in Trinidad alone, we have a lot of Hindi music, you know, we have a lot of Muslims.
Now that's interesting because when most people think of the Caribbean, they just think Bob Marley. They just think
sing reggae,
every corner we're singing One Love.
Right, no. So in Trinidad and Tobago, we are known for producing the genre called soca.
Yeah.
It's actually by Rash Shorty.
Get something.
Yeah, that's right. So, you know, we have soca, we have calypso, we have reggae, we have dancehall. So, have you ever ate callaloo?
Yes.
Right. So, you see, it's like a blend of different things. You have your okras, you have so many different things inside of it. We are like the melting pot of the Caribbean. So we have varying styles and songs, and it's hard to really pin us down to just one genre.
Okay, and that informs how you do your music, because some people just prefer to, you know, I mean, they just do what they do. But do you ever fear that when you do stuff that would they get this, or you just do it?
Well, this thing about me is that I've been told, and maybe I've seen it for myself, is that even though that these genres are varying, there's one sound, and I can move from reggae.
Jermaine Edwards has a song that goes, maybe they won't call me.
Yeah.
It talks about not having the awards, not having the money. For you, when you think about excellence against popularity, what does it look like for you? Because, I mean, you put a song out, there's an expectation that, you know, Positive must hit million, you know, but how do you do that whole journey?
I think for me, what I really base the success of a song on is by the testimony it creates in the life of the listener. So when people reach out to me and said, you know what, you wrote this song specifically for me because I was going through a dark period or because I needed your support. I remember there was a song I wrote called My...
Belinda said she found out I was interviewing. She said she had to ask a question. I said, Belinda, it's not your show. You know, so, but, you know, I got to go back to London, not get beat up by Belinda. So she says, I must ask you, this is a question from London, what US collaborations can we expect from Positive?
I'm currently working on a song with Nathan Davis Jr. I just wrapped up a song with No Big Deal. Ooh. He's a Christian hip-hop artist.
Yes, well.
Yes, I'm kind of working with, did a song with Tadashi. So we have quite a few cooking for the next album. Okay. And it's almost finished.
Okay. Positive, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me, sir.
Yeah. Well, that brings us to the end of today's program. Before Positive takes the TPI stage, I want to leave you with one final thought. The God that lives in you is more powerful than the external forces against you. You are more than a conqueror. Amen. We leave you with Positive performing his hit song, Company. From all of us here at TPI, goodbye and God bless you.
Said, oh, no, no, no. Oh, no, no, no. Said, oh, no, no, no. Hear me now, how you love me so much. I don't know how you do that. Favor on my left hand, blessings step on my right. How could I leave your side, oh daddy? No can do, oh, cause you never let me go. Oh, I need your company. Speak a word all over me. Take what you want, Lord. Take what you want in me. It's your spirit I'm after. Your spirit is life in me. I just need your company. Do what you want, Lord. Do what you want in me. Take what you want, Lord. Take what you want in me. It's your spirit I'm after. Your spirit is life in me. I just need your company. Do what you want. I say do what you want, Lord. Do what you want, Lord. Say do what you want. Hey, I say take what you want, Lord. Take what you want.
Let your light come shine down on me. And I'm never the same now, never where I used to be.
I'll be totally changed.
Oh yeah. No one meant you remain the same.
Be totally changed.
Oh, no.
Holy Lord of the universe, let your light come shine down on me, and I'll never be the same, no, never I used to be. Holy Lord of the universe, let your light come shine down on me.
Fire! We need you. Fall on this willing vessels. Oh, fire, fire, fire. Holy power, fire. Just like the days of Pentecost. Fall on this willing. And we will never be the same again. Never be the same again. Never be the same again. No one meant you remain the same. Yes, sir. We never be the same. Fire, holy power. Lift your hands and declare. Holy power, fire. Fall on this willing vessels worship. Let the blood flow from Africa to the nations of the earth. Fire, holy power, fire, holy power, fall on this. Ayadabala kopela toprenia. Yes, sir. We'll never be the same again. Jacob will become Israel. We'll never be the same again. Simon can become Peter. When he touches your fire, we never be the same. The chief will never be the same again. Never, 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 never. Fire, fire. Holy power, fire, fire, fire. Holy Ghost, fire. Fall on this willing heart, worshiping. Fire, fire. I don't baptize with water, but he who comes after me will baptize with. Oh my. You can play with water, but fire is jealous. Fire! Fire is jealous. And when it finds fire, consuming fire, refiner's 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 fire, refiner's fire, for God is a consuming fire, for God is a consuming fire, consuming fire, just like the day, just like the day of Pentecost, just like the day.
Disputes. Over time, the Act has been amended to respond to emerging challenges, including the introduction of technology, court rulings, and public pressure for transparency. But critics say these repeated amendments have created a law that is bulky, inconsistent, and sometimes unclear. That concern has given rise to calls not just for reform, but for a complete repeal and replacement. So what exactly does repeal mean? A repeal means scrapping the existing Electoral Act entirely and replacing it with a new legal framework. Supporters argue that starting afresh allows lawmakers to remove contradictions created by repeated amendments, clearly define the role and powers of INEC, fully integrate technology into the electoral process, introduce stronger punishments for electoral offenses. In their view, the current law is like a house renovated too many times, still standing but structurally weak. Let's examine the case for repeal. First, supporters argue that the Electoral Act is no longer fit for modern elections. Technology now plays a central role in voting and result management, yet the law still leaves room for ambiguity. Second, a repeal offers comprehensive reform, not piecemeal fixes. Instead of amending one section at a time, a new act could present a unified, coherent electoral framework. Third, proponents believe a new law can better protect INEC's independence, insulating it from political interference while clearly outlining its responsibilities. Finally, repeal advocates argue that tougher penalties, clearly stated and strictly enforced, could reduce vote buying, election violence, and manipulation. To them, repeal is not radical, it is necessary. But critics say the risk may outweigh the benefits. One major concern is timing. Electoral laws, they argue, should not be overhauled close to the elections, as this creates uncertainty for voters, political parties, and election officials. Another fear is political manipulation. Opponents worry that a repeal could be used to introduce rules that favor certain interests under the guise of reform. There's also the issue of legal disruption. Election cases, tribunal decisions, and judicial precedents rely heavily on existing laws. A sudden repeal could complicate ongoing and future disputes. Critics further argue that Nigeria's current Electoral Act has already improved election credibility compared to the past, and that targeted amendment remains the safer approach. For them, stability is not the enemy of reform, it is its foundation. At the heart of this debate are difficult but necessary questions. Should electoral laws be rewritten close to the election cycles? Does repeal strengthen democratic institutions or expose them to influence? Can a new law truly eliminate vote buying and election malpractice? And most importantly, will Nigerians trust the process more or less? Because democracy does not survive on laws alone, it survives on public confidence. Electoral laws shape political behavior long before voters arrive at polling units. They determine how candidates emerge, how campaigns are funded, and how results are accepted. A carefully planned repeal could modernize Nigeria's democracy and restore faith in elections. A poorly handled repeal could deepen voter apathy and political suspicion. In democracy, how change happens matters just as much as change itself. Nigeria's democracy depends not only on elections, but on the credibility of the rules that govern them. That is all on today's episode of Explained. You can follow us on all our social media platforms, like, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.
Monday, Tuesday, you coming with a scene. Ay, Thursday, you gon' meet Baby King. Friday, I'ma see you to your knees. But on Saturday, we practicing the birds and the bees.
In every democracy, power does not operate in silence. Someone must ask the questions, tell the stories, and shine the lights where others would rather keep things hidden. In Nigeria, that responsibility largely falls on the media. Ministries issue statements, agencies respond, and sometimes investigations are opened. This process is called accountability. Leaders being answerable to the people. In this way, the media helps balance power between the government and its citizens. The media does not only report news, it also educates the public. Through discussions, interviews, and special programs, the media explains government policies, citizens' rights, and national issues in simple language. Radio programs in local languages and TV discussions help Nigerians understand how governance affects their daily lives. Elections are a major part of governance, and the media plays a key role during this period. The media educates voters, introduces candidates, reports campaigns, and monitors the electoral process. On election days, media coverage helps promote transparency and reduces the speed of rumors. This helps citizens make informed choices and strengthens democracy. The media also gives ordinary Nigerians a voice. Through phone-in programs, interviews, and social media engagements, citizens can express their opinions and raise concerns. This allows the government to hear directly from the people and encourages public participation in governance. Despite its importance, the media in Nigeria faces challenges. These include pressure from powerful individuals, threats to journalists, lack of funding, and the spread of fake news. Some media houses also struggle to remain independent. These challenges affect how effectively the media can perform in its role in governance. Without the media, governance would lack transparency. The media connects the government to the people, keeps leaders accountable, and helps citizens stay informed. A free and responsible media strengthens good governance and democracy in Nigeria. In the story of Nigeria's democracy, the media is more than just an observer. It is an active participant. By informing the public, holding leaders accountable, and giving voice to the people,
This is TVM. TVM delivers breaking stories, global headlines, and the moments that matter. From exciting sports action to exclusive local events, we keep you connected. Celebrate our culture, people, and voices with powerful documentaries and inspiring stories. Experience premium entertainment, from trending music to urban lifestyle and beyond. Grow your spirit with life-changing messages and uplifting perspectives. Lead the way with bold conversations, fresh ideas, and thought-provoking shows. Wherever you are, whenever you want, watch TVM on all your devices. TVM, your world, your network.
Describe the moment when you first realized the importance of having a clear vision in your leadership journey.
To begin from the right premise, or rather, shall I say on the right premise, I believe that having a clarity of what vision is as it relates to leadership, for me, is more important, first of all, because that is where the understanding should begin. For me, vision, in my own definition, is like having a baby in the womb. Now, when a woman attracted, charting the course to fulfill that purpose. The vision gave me the circle of friends that I relate with, just like I illustrated with the woman that's carrying a baby. It is the baby in the womb that decides how the woman behaves. So liken it to leadership. The vision gave me the clarity. It chose where I go to, the kind of books I read, the kind of people that influences me. So it governs everything about me. The way it shaped me is who I am today.
As a follow-up to that, you said something about a vision makes a leader.
That's right.
And
That's
a leader.
right.
Can you shed more light on that? It's profound. Can you shed more light on that statement?
All right. So coming with that question, which is the destination, visions without evolving is not a vision. In the first place, you have to understand that vision evolves.
Okay.
That's right. And vision is like you carrying an oversized mandate, something you cannot digest all alone, and that is where you bring in others whom this same vision need to be passed to. I'll be talking about the baton later on, but let's look at this. If the vision does not evolve, it means it was one man's wish. Yeah.
In your personal life, sir, have you ever experienced a time where your vision played a crucial role in overcoming some leadership challenges?
I have done that time and again. You know, the leader and the vision are one. But the leader is a person. The vision is a mandate. Your ability to marry who you are with the vision is what makes you unique. So you've got to come to a place where you understand the dynamics of who you are as a person to be able to see how that can enable you lead. By traits, there are people who were not born or who are not good at talking. And then there are leaders. There is no leadership without communication, just like you defined from the beginning. So how will they be able to lead if they cannot communicate? You looking at them, they have the traits of leadership, but they are not good communicators. So who you are now becomes an impediment to your leadership. You know, communication for me is what leadership is all about. Whether verbal, oral, or non-verbal. Communication can mean so many things to many people, depending on the premise that they're coming from. But let's generalize, let's centralize communication, as it were, as relating with people with a common goal for them to be able to understand, so that they that read will run with it. What that simply means is your ability to communicate what is on the table becomes the why people can interpret it. If they don't understand it by the way you have presented it, it becomes difficult for it to be executed. So communication is the key.
We have gathered questions from our viewers. Let's see what they have to say about today's topic. Through this particular route, circumstances and situations like me, you go through this route. But the important thing is do not lose sight of where you are getting to at the end. I think the key, let me say this, the key is understand where you are, understand where you are going to, understand the path to take you to where you are going to. Now, if you have this understanding, even when circumstances come and the path has to change, you also understand how to navigate to where you are going to. Well, ambitious vision, so to speak, is often what drives innovation and progress, right? But it can also sometimes feel overwhelming, particularly when you are a one-man army, which is not even ideal or advisable. Do not always approach your vision alone. It's always important to identify people who can ride the vision with you. So, because a vision most times is ambitious. The truth is,
This is TVM. TVM delivers breaking stories, global headlines, and the moments that matter. From exciting sports action to exclusive local events, we keep you connected. Celebrate our culture, people, and voices with powerful documentaries and inspiring stories. Experience premium entertainment, from trending music to urban lifestyle and beyond. Grow your spirit with life-changing messages and uplifting perspectives. Lead the way with bold conversations, fresh ideas, and thought-provoking shows. Wherever you are, whenever you want, watch TVM on all your devices. TVM, your world, your network.
Nigeria is one nation, but within it are different identities, cultures, and diversities. So how do you govern a country that is this diverse? Here on Explain Nigeria, everything is going to be broken down for you. The answer Nigeria chose was federalism, a way to share power, protect diversity, and promote unity. Federalism in Nigeria is a system of government where power is shared infrastructure. At the grassroots are local governments, which bring governance closer to the people by handling community-level services. Nigeria adopted federalism to manage its deep ethnic, religious, and cultural diversity. With over 250 ethnic groups, federalism was meant to prevent domination by any single group, protect minorities, and bring government closer to the people. The Constitution divides powers into 3 legislative lists. The first legislative list is the exclusive legislative list. This contains powers reserved for only the federal government, including defense, currency, foreign affairs, and immigration. Next, we have the concurrent legislative lists. This contains shared powers, including education, healthcare, electricity, and roads. Both the federal and state governments can make laws here, but the federal law takes priority if there is a conflict. Finally, we have the residual legislative lists. This includes powers not mentioned elsewhere and is meant to belong to the states. Nigeria's federal system evolved from colonial rule. The 2 constitutions that they had at the time was the Richards Constitution of 1946. This recognized regional diversity. The second constitution was the Littleton Constitution of 1954, which formally introduced federalism. At independence in 1960, Nigeria's region had more autonomy and control over resources than states do today. The goals of federalism remain clear: national unity, inclusion,
This is TVM. TVM delivers breaking stories, global headlines, and the moments that matter. From exciting sports action to exclusive local events, we keep you connected. Celebrate our culture, people, and voices with powerful documentaries and inspiring stories. Experience premium entertainment, from trending music to urban lifestyle and beyond. Grow your spirit with life-changing messages and uplifting perspectives. Lead the way with bold conversations, fresh ideas, and thought-provoking shows. Wherever you are, whenever you want, watch TVM on all your devices. TVM, your world, your network.
very good day to you out there. Welcome to TVM's Metro Update. Today, I am Lawrence J.R. Agwele. The TVM Metro Update is coming to you from the TVM Studios domiciled in the metropolitan town of Warri, Delta State.
Which include free medical consultations, screening, medication, and other humanitarian interventions. 21 wheelchairs were donated to persons with mobility challenges, including children. There were physiotherapy toys for children living with autism and other developmental conditions for their learning and rehabilitation. 120 bags of rice were distributed to support vulnerable households. The wife of the governor, the Constable Warri, said the event promotes inclusion, creates awareness on the need to care for persons with special needs, and to eliminate the stigma they often suffer in society. She called on the public to love and accept them as they are special gifts from God.
I beg you once again, bring them out so that they can be happy. They are not useless. They just bring this upon themselves and we cannot question God. So my mothers, my sisters, our aunts.
At the government house in Asaba, the demonstrators carried placards. They alleged that repeated appeals to security agencies had failed to yield meaningful intervention despite rising tensions in the community. The protesters claimed that dozens of homes had been demolished, while farmlands and cultivated crops were destroyed during the dispute, leaving many families displaced.
A lot of damages have been done to our land, farmland precisely. Like the earlier speaker said, we have over 2,000 acres of land that this man called Samora came from nowhere and said he has been given power of attorney. And we went all around to see that that document he's possessing is fake and fraudulent, criminal. Indeed, it's not a genuine document, and nobody gave him.
What over 5 billion naira? More than what is 5 billion? More than 500 billion naira. Rendering people homeless. We started asking questions. We went to the community and asked the community. They said they are not involved. We started asking questions. They said that one Mr. Mora, one engineer Mora, came in and started demolition, said that the land belongs to him. Every effort we've tried to meet both the commissioner of police and every other people felt abortive. So please, we are begging the governor to use his good office to come for our intervention, our aid. People's houses has been demolished to zero level.
Samora is not an indigenous of Opanam. He's not an indigenous of Amachai. How come can he come from Enugu State to Delta State to acquire land? We did not transact any business, any land business with him. So we have come here to let the government know and let the government come to our aid.
They live and since there for the past 3 months. Delta State Police and they're sipping now inside our bush, Buffalo Squad. Now inside our bush, they scatter. They scatter. They don't destroy our farmland. People build, now go stand for the picture. They don't destroy. They intimidate us. He said now he gets Nigerian police. Say nobody fear arrest them. Samora go fear arrest us. But if we got police made them arrest them, they say they don't give them papers that is above the law. Say that the IG of police is behind him, that commissioner of police is behind me. Myself, I've gone with my people to the commissioner office. He will say, go, go, go. I'm not aware when this thing happened.
The protesters called on Delta State Governor Sheriff Oborowori to order an impartial investigation into the dispute, ensure justice for affected residents, and restore peace to the community.
I can't even express what we are going through, sir. And we think and we know that here is the last resort. We don't want to take laws into our hands. And I pray that our honorable governor should come to our aid and stop whatever they are doing there with the aid of the police, Delta State Police Commission.
Responding on behalf of the governor, the director of protocol, Sunday Onorode, assured the protesters that Delta State government remains committed to protecting lives and property while maintaining peace across the state. He advised members of the community to remain calm.
You know, Delta is a very peaceful state. Any role the government can play in ensuring that there's peace in the state, the governor will surely do that. So I'll communicate to him and you will hear from government. Thank you very much. And I want to urge you to that as you go home, try to maintain law and order in the place and extend our warm greetings to other Amaicha people.
Following the protests held at Delta State Government House Gate at Saba by some Okpanam residents alleging forceful claim of their land by engineer Samuel Mora an estate developer and CEO of Fisan Consult. The Anambra-born and Delta-bred businessman has addressed a press conference in Asaba. He explained that his company acquired the land genuinely with documents to show for it, including court documents.
They don't have to know me directly. They did not sell land to Engineer Sam of Fisan Consult. They sold land to Emeka Madu. Emeka Madu sold land to Martech Resources. And Martech gave me a power of attorney. I am the one in charge of that land as it is now.
All right, and you're welcome back to some national stories. The federal government of Nigeria has reaffirmed its commitment to enhancing the nation's livestock as part of efforts to improve food security, boost job creation,
create jobs, create activity in the livestock sector. The LPRESS project, it's a holistic value chain. It's also interesting people to know that the Kalachika is about to start working. Work there, it's about 85–90% done. Next week, we'll receive about 7–10,000 chicks of the poultry. Minister is here to see that and see how federal government can collaborate with Cross River State in further livestock development.
As both parties reaffirm their commitment to strengthening collaboration, the over-reliance on imported products is expected to become a thing of the past.
And as the world marks the 2026 International Youth Day, and the Cross River State government has reaffirmed its commitment to human capital and development through equipping young people to meet global skills demands. And the State Commissioner for Youth Development, Ijom Ukam, made this known while addressing the media in Calabar as he outlined various developmental initiatives the government aims to roll out to boost the productivity of young people in the states. Our correspondent Simon Uche reports.
With young people championing development across the globe in various spheres of endeavors, including the media, information and communication technology, and other enterprises, attention is now being shifted towards their development. In Cross River State, the government, through the Ministry of Youth Development, says it is committed to building a youthful community well equipped to meet the rising global skill demands. The Commissioner for Youth Development, Ijom Ukam, made this known while unveiling the theme of this year's International Youth Day celebration: different context, common aspiration, advancing the people's first agenda through sustainable youth development.
Young people are already shaping the present. They are building businesses, they are creating innovations, they are competing in sports, they are creating music, film, and digital content. They are volunteering in their communities, they are developing technologies, they are working in public and private institutions.
Optimistic that their welfare will continue to be on top of the government's agenda even as they continue to develop themselves.
And over now to Edo State, where the governor, Monday Ukpebolo, has approved the appointment of 4,800 special assistants as part of efforts to strengthen grassroots governance and deepen the participation of all Progressive Congress members in his administration. Ukpebolo disclosed this during a meeting with APC members from the 18 local government areas at the Government House, Benin City. He stated that the appointments were aimed at taking governance and government programs to the grassroots. The APC State Chairman, Jarrett Tenebe, said the governor had approved the appointment of 25 special assistants in each of the 192 wards across the states. Tenebe added that a committee had been constituted to the operation led to the arrest of 3 suspects and the recovery of 4 AK-47 rifles, 7 magazines, 133 rounds of ammunition, and ransom. One suspected kidnapper was killed during a gun deal, while the rescued victims, Seminarian Lawrence Igbo and Emmanuel Onwudi, reportedly identified the arrested suspect as their abductors. Umba, represented by the Secretary to the State Government, Chidebere Onya, said the breakthrough demonstrated the effectiveness of Enugu security architecture and the use of technology in tracking criminal networks. He warned that anyone involved in kidnapping or assisting criminal gangs will be pursued and prosecuted. The governor also commended the DSS, Nigerian Army, Police, Enugu State Forest Guards, and other security agencies involved in the operation. He assured residents that in agriculture, technology, energy, and other strategic sectors. Sanjay Jain, chairman of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India, Nigerian chapter, said stronger India-Nigerian collaboration could help transform Nigeria's agricultural losses into greater economic value, particularly by reducing post-harvest losses through improved storage, cold chain systems, and food processing. Giant said Indian expertise in drip irrigation, high yield seeds, nano fertilizers, and drone-based farming could support Nigerians' drive towards mechanized agriculture. He also identified livestock development, agricultural finance, manufacturing, and infrastructure as areas with significant potential for
areas of expertise cut across critical sectors, including manpower sourcing and supply, engineering services, construction and fabrication works, specialized procurement and supply, operations and maintenance services, and integrated marine services, delivering supply boats, crew boats, tugboats, barges, houseboats, and speed boats. At Dursag Engineering, we are committed to quality, safety, and timely delivery, ensuring that every project meets and exceeds expectations. Dursag Engineering and Services Limited, your trusted partner in delivering world-class engineering and energy solutions.
And welcome back to some foreign affairs. The United States President Donald Trump has demanded compensation from Iran for those he claimed were killed by the country after Tehran conditioned the reopening of the Strait of Attacks have killed 6 people in southern Ukraine and struck a children's hospital in the capital, Kyiv, overnight, according to local officials. And the attacks, which happened early Tuesday, included long-range missiles, officials said, a part of a Russian campaign to overwhelm Ukrainians' air defenses as Kyiv faces a shortage of Patriot interceptors. Ivan Fedorov, head of the military administration in the southeastern region of Zaporizhia, said Russia carried out a massive attack using missiles and area bombs in the region, killing 6 people and wounding 19. And he posted pictures on social media showing buildings and vehicles set ablaze, and said there had also been power outages. That sums it up for today's edition of Metro TVM's Metro updates. Remember you can watch us on the go by downloading the TVM's app on the Android Play Store. You can interact with us via our social media handles, which I trust you see on the screen. We believe you've had a wonderful day. We believe you had an insightful bulletin. I am Lawrence J. Arrow Aguele. Do stay tuned.
Nigeria, we are the most prayed nation.
Yeah. Well, why prayer is a good factor, it's not the only factor. You don't pray for good leaders. You install good leaders. When a right person with the right mentality is in power, trust me, you do well. Dr. Miles Monroe said, a sheep.
Rewire podcast. This is more than a conversation.
Hello, fans. Welcome to the Warri Podcast. I'm your host, Sam Speaks. Warri Podcast is a podcast where we transform your mind through proper mind renewal, because we believe mindset equals to life set. It's another show again, and we are going to be discussing on leadership, politics, and religion. They say religion is the opium of the masses. Why do religion promises so much hope? And why is it that people are so emotional when it comes what religion means? A belief in a deity. And he was arguing that religion is not a bad word, or the concept of religion is not bad. I don't know if do you agree with that?
Yeah, I agree with that. The concept of religion itself is not bad.
Okay.
Like every other thing, it can be abused. Like every other thing, it can be abused,
I see now.
right?
Yeah.
So in itself, it's not bad, because what religion tries to do, everywhere you find religion, religion tries to somewhat make people behave in a manner that seems to be right.
Like morality.
Yes,
kind of, right?
yeah, exactly. Thank you. It tends to bring morality into the picture. Religion tells you that your conscience should tell you when you're doing bad, you shouldn't do bad, stuff like that.
Yeah.
If you even look at the Old Testament in our Bible, which is actually the Jewish
standard.
by human standard, exactly.
Yeah.
Just by believing in Christ, he was saved. So you see that it has to do with work versus grace.
Yeah.
Jesus saved us by grace, not by our works. So that's the main dichotomy between religion.
So religion says that
you have to
saved by
you are saved by your work.
Yes.
But Christianity, in this sense anyway, which is our true worship with God, is that you are saved by grace, strictly by grace, right? This was the exact reason why when Paul was going about in his missionary journey, many times the Jews especially, they didn't really like him. There were times they wanted to beat him up. They didn't like him because how can you tell us that all the things that Moses wrote for us to be following, let's do it. You're telling us that it doesn't matter again. That just and all of that. You see that the greatest rivals that Christ had in his incarnated ministry were the religious people. They didn't like him. Think about it.
I agree with you.
That gets to show you that Jesus did not come to inaugurate a religion. If he did, the religious people would have loved him. They didn't like him. In fact, they clamored for him to be killed.
Exactly.
Because almost everything he was doing was strictly against what the law of Moses said.
Yeah.
So it got to a point where he even told them, I think this was John chapter 5, verse 45. He said, if you believe in Moses, if you believe in Moses, you will believe in me. Because they were like, Moses said this, Moses said this. How come you are not saying something contrary? So this gets to tell you that Christ did not come to inaugurate a religion. He came to show us that we can have a personal relationship with the Father. That was why when he taught, he would say, your Father which is in heaven, your Father. To put in effort to make sure that these things will not get continued, actually. Right? So in Africa, religion has somewhat made people become so dormant that they are not looking at the real issues. They are focusing on certain things that are not. I so much believe in spirituality because if you have eternal life, you are a spiritual man, right? But at the end of the day, you must understand that human beings are in the physical, even though we can relate to the spiritual.
Yeah, that's heaven and earth.
That's heaven and earth. So we must make those two roles play out in our life.
Yeah.
So that means that if we have to do things that are physical, we should do things that are physical. If we have to do things that are spiritual, we must do things that are spiritual. But religion has negatively influenced people in this part of the world to the point that they don't want to do things that are physically oriented. They want they put everything on spiritual. A person will misbehave, na devil. Anything person do, na devil. Everything, it is spiritual. You can even a person can.
So how can as a citizen now? How can you be able to free yourself from that mental slavery? Because it is a mental slavery.
It's a mental slavery.
So how can we? What are the steps? The mental awakening that people need to adopt to free themselves from that mental prison.
Well, it's to understand the truth. Yeah. So you see, freeing yourself or themselves, people cannot many times free themselves.
Why?
People have to. This is why even in Christendom, we have teachers. Okay. So when you say, how can people free themselves? Simply mean, number one, listening to a podcast like this. I'll start from there because they need to hear. Even the Bible says, faith comes by hearing by God. So they need to hear.
Yes.
So they need to be taught. That's one of the first thing. Because when you don't teach people, when you don't motivate them, the many times for none. In fact, some people don't, the worst prison, like they will say, is the one that you don't even know that you are in. That carries the Old and the New Testament. Instead of focusing on the reality, they are still hitting on the prophecy of what to come. So first thing first, they need to understand that, look, this thing that we are doing is not Christianity. We are still Jews. We are practicing Judaism. Let's come to this knowledge of Christ. Coming to the knowledge of Christ.
Yes.
Jesus Christ said himself, he said, Moses and the prophet wrote about me. About me.
So even from Abraham.
Right from time. Right? The entire scripture is about him. So, first and foremost, those of us who are in Christendom, we have to make people understand that, one, Jesus is the concept of the whole of the scriptures.
The narrative is about Christ.
It's about Christ.
Exactly.
So they have to come to this knowledge.
Yeah.
Then if we take it outside of the Christian context, our everyday life and all of that, they still have to come to a realization that, look, religion is one thing, politics another thing.
Yeah.
They have to and miss is the idea. That's the answer to this. You see, prayer in itself has context, it has ways you should use it and how you should pray and all of that. In Christendom, many times we don't get results before because we pray for things that we should actually carry out on. I always tell people that, look, God would not do for you what he has empowered you
to do.
for
I
yourself.
love that.
This is why you see that when God gave man the command of dominion, he was not talking to a Christian man. He was talking to a human being. Dominion,
irrespective of whatever you believe.
Yeah, dominion was to humanity. That's why you see in Genesis, he said, God created man. He went for that and I said, male and female, he created them.
Yeah.
This means that the concept of Adam was humanity.
Yes, humanity.
So he wasn't just talking about a male man, he was talking to humans. Battle lions that are led by a sheep. He said that of the sheep led by a lion would defeat lions that are led by sheep.
The importance of leadership. Wow.
That is humanity.
So powerful,
Humans have that capacity, right? To say, you know what? This person is a good leader. If this person have the characteristics of leadership, they should do it. So as an example, I'm just giving that leadership. You don't pray for good leaders. You install good leaders. Even though you want to pray for them anyways,
for God to keep them alive.
For God to just keep them among of that, but it's not to bring them in. Look at Nigeria, for example, now. We have democracy, we have electioneering. It is our right to get privileges, to actually vote and all of that. So imagine you are praying morning till night for leadership and you can't go out
You're not going to cast your vote.
You're not going to have to cast your vote, especially your franchise. You are praying amiss in that sense. God will never answer that prayer. God won't even answer that prayer.
Yes. And you see, Warri lived his life till after his end of his tenure. He went to his place and he died, actually. So talking about praying amiss, that could be one way you could just be praying amiss and you're not using your PVC.
You're not using your PVC.
I want to say this here to Nigerians and everybody watching. Voting is voting is a culture.
Yes, it should be a
culture. It's not a one attempt.
Yeah.
Like I was talking to some folks recently during this week, and they were like, "Go get your PVC.
Yeah.
That's the weapon. That's the power we have to cause a change." They were like, "In the last election where we voted, what happened? I said, because we didn't come out enough." You see, when you have fewer people coming to vote, it is easier for them to rig and manipulate results. So they're telling me that the last vote we vote, what happened? Did our vote count? Like your vote did count. I mean, that should not stop you. So I see a lot of Nigerians have this mentality.
There was a reverse in such a law, right? Because these people were ready to take the pain and all of that. So what I'm trying to say is that they were able to protest even without going on the street, barricading the road and all of that. They just boycotted the use of the bus and all of that. So the reason for that is that, you see, there are several ways you can address issues.
Yeah.
There are ways you can let the government know that, look, we are concerned.
Show your grievances.
Yes, we can express our grievances in different modes, in different ways. And that is just a very good example. And another thing we can learn from this story is that it was spearheaded by Martin Luther King Jr., who was a human rights activist and also he was a pastor.
Yeah.
So imagine today, a pastor is leading a person another. Some persons will be like, oh, a pastor is just supposed to focus in his spiritual,
Exactly.
He's not supposed to be part of that. But
politics,
in fact, we should be the role models. People should look at us. I have a slogan. You are either influenced or you are influencing.
Influencers,
you can't stand in the middle. Either people are influencing you or you're influencing people. You can't stand in the middle. So as a believer, we have to take a role there. We have to be the one influencing people. We should be the role model, right? We see somebody like Daniel in the Bible. We see somebody like Joseph and all of that. Even though in the New Testament, we don't see the apostles joining political movement and everything. But we must understand that as a believer, you still have a secular life. Secular does not mean carnal. Secular simply means it's out of the church.
Yes.
Right? But it doesn't mean carnal. Me being a paramedic, that's a secular job. It's not a church thing. God did not appear to me to become a medical practitioner. Right? So whatever it is that you can do to get money, that is legitimate. It can be secular and not carnal. So you can do secular things that are not sinful. So even though politics is of a secular leadership,
I wanted to talk about that. They demonize politics. That don't go to politics. So it's a dirty game. Politics by the book is not a dirty game, but dirty people play politics.
Absolutely.
Politics is just the art of electing people into offices. Churches play politics. Even in this podcast, we play politics. When I mean politics, we have a way how we put people into leadership positions. So politics is not a dirty game. But dirty people has been playing the game. And so people tend to associate the game with the dirty people. So do you think the church have been correct for all these years demonizing politics or restraining people from going to politics?
Okay, plainly, it has been a wrong move to demonize politics. Because that, you see that a Christ-like man would be a better leader. You're not talking about a man who's going to church. A man who is Christ-like would be a better
leader. For the past years, some of the Christians we have had in politics, for example, the past vice president was a pastor. And I think if you go to some states, you have pastors or reverend fathers as governors and some as deputy governors and some as even senators or House of Reps. Now, will you say they've actually led the nation well? Because we are still struggling the same leadership issues that we have.
We are still struggling. The reason is because they didn't do effective jobs, right?
And why?
The reason is because it could head out the way. I cannot take the exact reason why they took up that role. It could head out. It could be head out of the ways, right? It could be head out of the ways. But at the same time, you see, they might think of wanting to change the structure, but there are ways that structure will so much inhibit you and not be able to do much. That's why I said that for us to actually have good outcome, we must flood that space and come under our own structure that is inspired by God.
Because I saw your vice president lately has been going to conferences talking about national building. And I feel like...
You mean the former vice?
Yes, former vice. Sorry, former vice. Sorry. Former vice. Like, you were the vice president for almost 8 years. Even if you were under someone we knew was not supposed to rule Nigeria. Yes, we knew was not capable of ruling Nigeria. But you were the vice president. So there were things that were done there that we all knew was wrong. Was not taking this nation to somewhere better. But you were part of it. Suddenly you came out and you started giving us prep talks and doing
that, of course.
Yes. So don't demonize politics because if you're not involved in the day-to-day running of your country,
you'll be a
they will run you like they are running us now.
Yes, we'll be a victim.
And now everybody are not praying to God.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the youth.
Yeah.
When I was young, I'll be hearing that the youth are the leaders of tomorrow, are the future of tomorrow. Though we're still waiting for the tomorrow. Now, how do you think the youth can bring in or play a role in good governance, good governance or good leadership? But before you tell me how, do you think, from your heart, looking at what is going around, do you think the youth, they have the ability to change the present status quo when it comes to politics and leadership?
Well, in Nigeria right now, we have Yahoo boys in Nigeria right now. People will say, oh, the reason why they have money and many times they don't even use it well because money when you steal, you know if you use and where karma go come against you another.
But what about your politicians?
I'm coming. Let me finish what I'm saying.
Okay.
Why that is a factor.
Yeah.
Another thing that is a great factor to all of this is that this person does not have the skill to make and maintain money. He has never seen 100 million naira in his life. He don't even know how to make 1 million naira through a legitimate means. Then he gets 100 million. He hasn't gone through the process. He will not be able to maintain it. So that is how it is with leaders or leadership. So a person who have not been able to manage a small circle, you now want the person to go and manage a whole country.
That's
going to have a big problem.
Yeah, it's going to be chaos.
So I'm going to recommend that our young people, they have a change of heart.
Yeah. What will you say? I want to calculate for me.
It is minus the 2 C's.
Okay.
I would score them. Have the 2 C's. Yeah, right? they don't have anyone. Seriously. They don't have anyone. The character, I wouldn't say it is there because a person who cannot be empathetic enough towards those that he's leading, that's not a very good character to portray as a leader. You must feel what your followers are going through. You must put yourself in their shoes. You cannot just come and just blab on TV.
Yes.
Why children are in the bush.
You're talking about sacrifice.
Why people are dying. You're talking about things that do not even relate to what the people are facing.
The matter
That's not a very good character. That's it, right? Then competence. Look at how it is now. Look at the administrative policies that they are rolling out. How is it benefiting? How is it helping us? It's not helping us. Use power, for example. Some people say, oh, the government has decentralized power, blah, blah. I told you. So you see that I can tell you that the 2 C's, no one is present. Currently, no one is present.
Me, I only see 2 D's. 2 D's. Okay, now, I think one of the things they've used to shut down the voices of people, or they've weaponized poverty.
Poverty, absolutely.
I love that word. Absolutely.
Yes.
Seriously, they've used poverty to weaponize people. I was having a conversation with a friend of mine, and he said like he knew someone who actually kind of like praises this present administration because of the office she occupies. Now, how many youths, or not even youth persons, that these leaders will come and dangle fact check before them, and they were like, I'll take.
Person gives him food at that point. That person is his savior, and he'll be ready to do a lot for that person. So what these guys have done over the years is that they've done what I call the law of deprivation. Is that if you are entitled to 100% of something, and I have consistently given you 10%. The day Mr. Sammy comes and give you 50%, you
your
worship,
loyalty changes.
Yes, you worship Mr. Sammy.
Straight up.
But guess what? You are still not getting the 100% that you...
Exactly. You're still being exploited.
Actually, you are still being exploited.
Deprived of what belongs to you.
So they understand this law. That's what they do.
Yes.
Imagine that an oil-rich country like Nigeria, we are supposed to be swimming in wealth.
We still don't pay citizens.
We are not even paying very well. They increased minimum wage to 1.70. Is right, it creates a ripple effect. It starts from depriving the people, then you cannot come throw crumbs at them and they are worshiping you and all of that. So the people themselves must be able to go through some level of difficulty to say, even though this person offers me so and so, I would refuse while I stand my ground. If you look at Nigeria, there are so many factors as to why we are not able to stand our ground. If we want to talk about them, 2 hours, they will not live here. But yes, poverty is just one of it.
Yes, religion is one of it.
Tribalism is another one.
Yes.
A lot of factors are really making us not being able to stand up and have our ground and say, look, our oppressors, enough is enough. But one of it is also poverty, which we must fight.
This is number one. To me, it's the strongest.
It's one of the strongest, Yes, it holds.
Nigerians are traumatized. One, from insecurity, poverty, religion, ethnicity, marriage, relationship.
I can tell you that Nigerians need therapy.
Education self-join.
Nigerians need therapy. I educate people right now.
If you are, please, let us,
let me,
share your contact and your...
I just have to say something.
Okay.
I was teaching my students and I was teaching them dementia.
Yes.
Dementia is a cognitive impairment,
exactly,
right? Cognitive impairment problem and all of that. And In the curriculum that I used to teach them, and part of the things that I saw there, they said one of the ways or several ways you know that a dementia patient should stop driving is when they made a list of so many things that the person will be attributing. When I looked at that list and I'm like, now this whole thing that Nigerian drivers, they do for our road.
I'm telling you.
Over there is dementia, but here is a normal thing.
Normal thing.
And that's we are adults. I define adults as physically matured children. Because the way you are behaving now, the way you are behaving now, a lot of it is a product of how you were brought up.
Exactly.
Unless along the way, you know, some certain things can begin to alter it, expose some information and all of that. But trust me, childhood matters a lot. Let me cite an example. In Proverbs, there is this popular saying, wisdom is a principal thing. Get wisdom, in order get understanding. That's Proverbs chapter 4, verse 7. Can I tell you that statement was not made by Solomon? It was made by David. If you start reading it from the verse 3, Solomon said, I was my father's son. He now started to list the things that David told him. So that statement was a reported speech. He was telling us what David told him. So this means that when God asked Solomon, what should I give to you? About forming cultures.
This is why
and creating systems
I love to
for
relate
ourselves.
this to superstition. I was talking to a brother. I said that we're going to have that session on superstition on Warri podcast. Because a lot of ideologies we have. That I told them, I said, this is not truly from God. It's just you.
It's you.
So I love what you said. The way you explained the Jewish phrase that Jesus, referenced. So most of our culture or belief that we have heard on, like, hey, this is divine, was actually what some few men came
together to
and
agree
agreed.
On. Yes, they agree on doing this thing.
Sometimes they agreed, they had a selfish intention towards that.
Yes.
Maybe we should oppress a certain clan, or we should love that.
Culture, and we'll start to live it.
Yeah. You talk about culture.
Yes.
How we can be able to form cultures that will uplift, one spirit and pushes or develop the country, develop the nation. Recently, I was having a conversation with my spirit, myself, about the culture of greatness. And God spoke to me and he said, over the years, and I think I was talking about Nigerian present issue, the governance, leadership problem that we're having and the insecurity stuff. And he said to me, the culture we have about greatness is a false culture. We have actually channeled greatness to money, material possession. And he told me, he said, greatness is about transforming someone's life. And that's
pull from the bondage.
Some of our leaders here are even slaves. They are slaves to this story.
Of course, they are just stooges. They use them as pawn in the game.
How do we get here? How do we go here? How do we go here? Look at the mess we put ourselves in the state of the country, Nigeria.
So there's a whole lot of work to do.
Exactly.
And it has to come from us who are coming up. Because these men that you are saying, they are not going to repent.
No.
They won't repent. We have to be the ones who get there to make those corrections.
Apostle Suleiman said something. He said, forget it. It's their nature not to repent.
Yeah, that's what for real. They wouldn't.
He said they won't repent.
They will not. So it's left for us to rewire the minds of those young persons who are coming. Make them understand that there is a greater picture than this.
Yes.
You are respected when you're able to build societies and communities, not for your personal gain. You mentioned Nelson Mandela. When he died, I was watching where they were giving a rundown of his biography and all of that. He died owning just a 4-bedroom flat in South Africa, as great as he was.
Can you hear that?
So it's not about self. It's about influencing people. Leadership is about influencing people and causing. The only thing I have to say is that as a young person, you have to build leadership skills. Because leadership is not about having titles. It's about influencing the lives of persons who are looking up to you. So I'll bring this down to our very current situation. Nigeria is at the time where we are thinking of changing leadership and all of that. As a young person, do you have your PVC? Are you ready to exercise your franchise by voting? I'm asking the question. I'm going to answer that question. You should have your PVC. You should exercise your franchise and vote in the next coming election. And you should make sure you build up leadership capacities, because only that will ensure that we have a greater future for ourselves.
Headlines and the moments that matter. From exciting sports action to exclusive local events, we keep you connected. Celebrate our culture, people, and voices with powerful documentaries and inspiring stories. Experience premium entertainment, from trending music to urban lifestyle and beyond. Grow your spirit with life-changing messages and uplifting perspectives. Lead the way with bold conversations, fresh ideas, and thought-provoking shows. Wherever you are, whenever you want, watch TVM on all your devices. TVM, your world, your network.
In every democracy, power does not operate in silence. Someone must ask the questions, tell the stories, and shine the lights where others would rather keep things hidden. In Nigeria, that responsibility largely falls on the media. From newspaper and radio to television and digital platform, the media plays a powerful role in how the country is governed. Here on Explain, we're going to be looking at the roles of media in governance, how it informs, checks powers, shapes public opinion, and strengthens democracy. When we talk about the media, we mean newspapers, radio, television, and digital platforms such as news websites and social media. In Nigeria, the media reaches millions of people every day in cities, towns, and rural communities. From early morning radio to the late night TV news, the media is often the first source of information to the public. The first major role of the media in governance is information. The media tells Nigerians what the government is doing, new policies, budgets, laws, appointments, and national decisions. Without the media, most citizens would be completely disconnected from the government activities. By reporting the news, the media keeps governance visible and open to the public. Another important role of the media is acting as a watchdog. Journalists observe government actions, investigate wrongdoing, and expose corruption or abuse of power. When public funds are misused or leaders fail to do their jobs, the media brings these issues to public attention. This role helps discourage bad behavior in government and remind leaders that the public is watching. Because of media reports, government officials are often forced to explain their actions. When stories trend in the media, ministries issue statements, agencies respond, and sometimes investigations are opened. This process is called accountability. Leaders being answerable to the people. In this way, the media helps balance power between the government and its citizens. The media does not only report news, it also educates the public. Through discussions, interviews, and special programs, the media explains government policies, citizens' rights, and national issues in simple language. Radio programs in local languages and TV discussions help Nigerians understand how governance affects their daily lives. Elections are a major part of governance, and the media plays a key role during this period. The media educates voters, introduces candidates, reports campaigns, and monitors the electoral process. On election days, media coverage helps promote transparency and reduces the speed of rumors. This helps citizens make informed choices and strengthens democracy. The media also gives ordinary Nigerians a voice. Through phone-in programs, interviews, and social media engagements, citizens can express their opinions and raise concerns. This allows the government to hear directly from the people and encourages public participation in governance. Despite its importance, the media in Nigeria faces challenges. These include pressure from powerful individuals, threats to journalists, lack of funding, and the spread of fake news. Some media houses also struggle to remain independent. These challenges affect how effectively the media can perform in its role in governance. Without the media, governance would lack transparency. The media connects the government to the people, keeps leaders accountable, and helps citizens stay informed. A free and responsible media strengthens good governance and democracy in Nigeria. In the story of Nigeria's democracy, the media is more than just an observer. It is an active participant. By informing the public, holding leaders accountable, and giving voice to the people,
This is TVM. TVM delivers breaking stories, global headlines, and the moments that matter. From exciting sports action to exclusive local events, we keep you connected. Celebrate our culture, people, and voices with powerful documentaries and inspiring stories. Experience premium entertainment, from trending music to urban lifestyle and beyond. Grow your spirit with life-changing messages and uplifting perspectives. Lead the way with bold conversations, fresh ideas, and thought-provoking shows. Wherever you are, whenever you want, watch TVM on all your devices. TVM, your world, your network.
Can you introduce yourself and tell us a bit of your background into software development?
Okay. My name is Paul Okodowa, and I've been working in the software industry for, say, almost a decade now, 8 years to be precise. And so it was, my introduction into tech was not so straightforward. It wasn't so straightforward. So I started from customer service all the way to customer success, and then I moved to content writing. From content writing then to learning software engineering. So software engineering to content creation, like I was a terrible software though. So I went all the way to Dreamweaver, and then it was from Dreamweaver, just kept on learning, and then YouTube became very popular and jumped into YouTube and started learning as much as I could. But it was, for the job part of it, it was majorly from customer success. So I didn't just go all the way to website, because I really did not know anything. I had the knowledge, but I really did not know how to put it into use. But I was doing customer success for a tech company. So that's how we just kept on going.
What was that inspiration from customer success down to software development? Now you're into content creation, although I don't like using the word content creation as a job description, because even if you are creating content, you are creating content about what you do. So what you do is the job.
Okay.
So what was your inspiration towards all through this journey, from one point to the next point? What inspired you to?
Company was paying 4,000, and my take home was 30,000. But the guys those who were building software, they were earning way more than I was. So I was the one involved in scouting the customer, making sure the customer come do business with us. But I was earning very low, very little. And but aside the fact that I was earning little, I'm somebody who's very interested in being the one who's at the top and not the one who's below. So I knew that the easiest way for me to do that would be to build software personally, to move all the way from customer service and build software, even though that doesn't seem like the right thing to do in 2025 right now. But what I did was I was taking time to, upskill myself and sell my services outside what I was doing for the company. So I was doing customer success. I had things like templates on how to close deals. I had so I thought, what would be the easiest thing for me to do for people outside? So I realized that probably my decision then, probably if I had continued with web design, I would have been able to take it outside. But my decision then was that I was going to begin to build software, build web software, apps, internal tools, external tools for people outside the country. And that's just basically how I just started, building all of that. So when I say I'm a content creator, maybe that's the wrong word to use, because I don't create content that makes people happy and all that stuff. So I would say that I'm a teacher. So I teach, I teach software development. Tech education. I teach software development online. That's what I do. So I don't really entertain anybody. In fact, if you're looking forward to be entertained, you won't really watch my content. You won't.
Now, down to
the ecosystem is thriving a bit, but the thing is, everybody is doing things in silence, secretly in their rooms. I personally have been in my room for the past 3 years, just working and not really coming out, right? But in terms of the government aspect of things, I would say a complete no. I would say no because there's a whole lot of things that is needed for a developer to thrive. If you don't have some very constant factor, you will not be able to thrive as a developer, irrespective of the part of the country that you are. For example, if you do not have light, you will not be able to thrive. It's your productivity is directly proportional to how much light time you have. How much I got my first brand new PC? 90,000. But now, if you want to get a brand new PC, you should be thinking like maybe 2.5 million.
Exactly.
So if you are a developer, irrespective of how good you are, there are some things that you will not be able to do if you do not have a very good PC that you want to use, right? So I think credit line will be a very good thing for the government to do. You borrowing money to get gadgets at 36%, it's a very, very terrible deal.
At DSAG Engineering and Services, we anticipate, manage, and deliver. Since 2000, we have been a leading EPC company, ensuring customer satisfaction through quality service and timely delivery. With integrity, proficiency, and innovation at our core, we provide world-class solutions tailored to your needs. From engineering designs and construction to procurement, manpower outsourcing, and maritime supplies, DSAG delivers excellence. Partner with us today. Visit www.dsag.net or call +23 4807 254 8724. DSAG Engineering and Services. Anticipate, manage, deliver.
Welcome back to the concluding part of this conversation. And before we went on that short break, Engineer Poye was telling us about the difficulty or what the government can do to make it easier. And I tend to agree with him because, these days, the tech and the media space are kind of an out. Also, the difficulty in payments. Yeah, it's one thing I've noticed. We go through a lot in this country.
Yeah.
You want to buy something online outside the country, you go through hell to pay. Your money, it's not like you want to take somebody's money. Your own money that you have to pay for a product or pay for a software or pay for something or plugin or whatever it is, you go through hell to get it. I don't know what policy operates that, but man, it's not fair to young developers. It's not fair to young tech people. So thank you for being with us, Engineer Paul.
Yeah, just want to chip in on that idea, being able for in Nigeria, and you're building for people who live in maybe in the UK or in the US. There is hardly any infrastructure that is based in Nigeria that you can use to charge that person. Right, you would have to rely on Amazon, or you have to rely on Stripe. You have to rely on other tools that, when you charge that person, you are going to pay your tax to those other persons. I mean, recently I was taxed $33 simply because I was charging somebody penny. I mean, the amount of money I was going to charge this person is so low, and before I was able to complete that transaction, I was charged as much as $33 just to complete a very simple transaction like that. That's how hard it is for people to transfer money. So I think that's something that the government will have to look on. Else, Nigeria will not be able to compete with Port Harcourt. So if you're watching us and you want to go into spaces that are other than the fintech space, Port Harcourt is a place that you should be, not Lagos or Abuja or any of those places. So you would normally find most of these guys in Port Harcourt. So I used to have a work colleague. He's the owner of CEO, I think, of Pipes. Pipes is a very cool tool for DevOps. I know a couple of persons in Port Harcourt who are doing this. But I think the Lagos boys and the around Nigeria boys, they have to be doing a fintech for something. Fintech for anything. So the fintech space has become so competitive that your success is directly proportional to how much money you're willing to waste. So if you have a fintech app, Uber for Suya or a Suya app, Abeg, any of these apps like that, your app will become very successful if you say, okay, I have 300 million, maybe $10 million in the bank account. I can cover that 50 naira for like maybe 100 million transactions. People will leave you complex services like MoneyPoint, OPay, and jump all the way to you. right? So it's a very volatile market. People get into fintech to lose money, not to make money, right? So anyway, that's a talk for another day. But for reasons why people don't do business to business, because there's really no business. Yeah, they will pay for it. So then if you bring it back to Nigeria, let's say for example you want to build a software that people can use to manage bakery. So the question now is, how many bakery do you have in Nigeria, right? And how many bakeries will be willing to use a tech product like that, and for free? And how many persons will be willing to pay for that product in order for you to optimize their business? So when you have few business in Nigeria, like the number of business in Nigeria is few, but the business that we have in Nigeria are people who just hand to hand, let's just do the things that we can. I'm selling suya, I'm selling zinc. But if you say core SMEs, we really don't have SMEs that you can really build for. I will always say that Nigeria is the opposite of South Africa. It's a made in Nigerian product. Nigerians don't like paying for. If there's no white man inside, if you want to sell to a lot of Nigerians, you have to use a white guy as your advert guy. Yeah. If there's no white guy inside, if you're not saying like this product is made from China, this product is made from UK, one UK address, one American address, and lots of Nigerians don't really think that it is very cool, right? And Nigerians hate paying for something. Somebody made a post recently on Twitter, and the person said that Instagram, they're charging about 2,400 naira a year for premium. I think they were doing it on promo or something. And do you know what Nigerian said, Lawrence? They said, don't worry, don't pay. Don't pay. I have a cheat that will enable you to have it for 2,400. This is less than
that's like 2,000 a month.
That's like that you personally can use to work directly with the customers. That's how you make money. Else you're just going to be there. You're not going to make money.
So meaning before there has to be a cultural mentality shift.
Absolutely. Before you can build anything B2B, there have to be a culture shift that everybody likes to pay for what they consume. Like we have to be a country where we understand there's no free meal.
Let me play the devil's advocate here. I'm not sure I would blame Nigeria totally, because we have been burnt a lot of times from
I'll take app design for an example. Somebody comes to you and say, "Hey Lawrence, I need you to build an app for me." And you say, "Okay, I'm going to build it." And say, "How much?" You say, "Okay." The guy says, "I'm going to pay you $1 million." And you say, "No, it's 10 million you have to pay." And then the guy says, and you say, "No, I'm not going to pay. I'm not going to. I will not build it." And the person, you hear words like, "It's not ordinary to sit down on the chair and be drawing something on the screen. Just to draw and give me, and that's what you are saying. That's what you are charging 1 million for." Or maybe you are a video editor and the person says, "Edit this thing for me." You say, "How much?" Say, I'm going to bill you 300K to edit this 1 hour clip. And the person says, So just to join
this bad part.
So I think because we are paid on a monthly basis, not on an hourly basis. So we really don't understand what it means to sit on a chair to do stuff for 1 hour.
I've been designing for almost
to interpret value, and we do not understand what time. We don't understand the value for people, and also value for time. Even time as regards to our business. A Nigerian person would prefer to use a spreadsheet than to use a normal spreadsheet than to use Google Sheet, or than to pay for Google Sheet. You just prefer to do it the hard way because you think, "Oh, I'm not sure I'm going to, I want to lose this kind of money." But we would have to be able to interpret loss and optimization. Because what all this software does is that they help you to optimize your business so you can focus on other things. But because of the way a lot of Nigerian businesses are built, they are not built for growth. They are built to just survive. So you can't be selling software to business
for any upcoming developer. But if you ask me, there are strong nuggets all through our conversation for upcoming developer. If you are developing right now in Nigeria, he said, try and look for clients outside the country.
Absolutely.
Just try and look for, so you survive, because it's not cheap.
Absolutely.
It is not cheap to run
your business.
It's not cheap to run your business. So
you try and look for clients outside the country. Then if you are a policymaker in this government, let's be fair to Nigerian youths. They are the future of this country. If you want to know, if you want to be honest with yourself and you want to know how Nigeria will be when you leave, try to extrapolate 20 to 30 years' time. The only type of people in Nigeria are people like you who all they know is politics. How would Nigeria be? If 90% of Nigerians are politicians, how would the country be? So if you're a politician or a policymaker, think like that. Regardless of how beautiful
what you do is to be available when they're in pain, and you're not there when they're excited. It means you're also going to get the least of them. You need to be present in both as a father. Many parents do not know that just as you get stressed, that's how children get stressed. Just as you get depressed, that's how children get depressed. Just as you have challenges, that's how children have challenges. So how do you go through these times with your children is very important. The first thing I want you to know is that helping children go through their bad or good times, you must always point them towards God. You may have money, or you may have resources to solve most problems, but you must put this in mind, that many times, even when you have the money, instead of going ahead in just dishing out the money, the academics or what their peers are already doing that they are unable to do. Imagine you're taking a child for sports, just a simple span, jump through, the child falls inside. Every other child is jumping. Have you ever tried to check that child to see what the child really has as a challenge? Be there for the child. Sometimes some children have a denture challenge where they don't like the way their face looks, they don't like the way their teeth looks. Now, all of these challenges, do not ignore them. It depresses children. Talking about the way they walk, it depresses children. Find out what the challenge is and be there to solve it. You do not compare them to any other person. I believe if you apply all these principles and more
So +234 703 727 2983, and follow us on our social media platform and send a screenshot to our WhatsApp number +234 9028 518367 and stand a chance to grab airtime and data. Don't miss out. Text now.
U.S. President Donald Trump says the situation with Iran is going fine, telling reporters at Joint Base Andrews that U.S. forces are in total control of the Strait of Hormuz. U.S. forces have disabled a Panama-flagged cargo ship attempting to sail towards an Iranian port by firing 2 Hellfire missiles at its steering gear after it ignored warnings. The U.S. so far has been unsuccessful in achieving the desired results from the war on Iran, despite its military might, and it is now a case of who blinks first, according to Paul Musgrave, Associate Professor of Government at Georgetown University, Qatar. A day after a magnitude 7.4 earthquake shook Western Colombia, rescue teams are frantically fighting through the rubble of collapsed buildings to find survivors and recover bodies. The powerful quake has caused at least 254 deaths nationwide, most of them concentrated in the cities of Pereira and Cali, according to government figures. Some 5,000 homes suffered damage, according to the United Nations Office for Coordination of Humanitarian Affairs, while dozens of buildings, many of them residential, collapsed entirely. In Cali, Colombia's third largest city, at least 95 people died, and 45 structures have fully or partially collapsed, according to the local government statistics. Russia and Ukraine have traded a deadly overnight drone attacks, killing 3 people in Ukraine's southern ports of Kherson and Russia's Black Sea port city of Novorossiysk, according to regional officials. A Ukrainian drone attack on Novorossiysk overnight Tuesday into Wednesday killed a child, injured another child and woman, and damaged dozens of buildings, including homes, reported Mayor Andrei Kravchenko. Drone strikes almost damaged the Novorossiysk grain terminal, according to the terminal's owner, Demetra Holding. Krasnodar region, where Novorossiysk is located, 8 people were injured, according to the regional governor, Veniamin Kondratev. Nigeria is one nation, but within it are different identities, cultures, and diversities. So how do you govern a country that is this diverse? Here on Explain Nigeria, everything is going to be broken down for you. The answer Nigeria chose was federalism, a way to share power, protect diversity, and promote unity. Federalism in Nigeria is a system of government where power is shared between the central government, states, and smaller political units under one constitution. In Nigeria, these are the federal government, 36 states and the Federal Capital Territory, and 774 local governments. Each level has constitutionally defined responsibilities designed to promote cooperation rather than domination. Nigeria is a large and diverse country made up of many ethnic groups, religions, and cultures. To manage this diversity and prevent domination by any single group, Nigeria adopted federalism. Nigeria operates a 3-tier system of governments. At the top is the federal government, which handles national matters such as defense, foreign affairs, currency, and immigration. Next are the state governments, 36 states and the Federal Capital Territory, responsible for regional issues like education, healthcare, agriculture, and infrastructure. At the grassroots are local governments, which bring governance closer to the people by handling community-level services. Nigeria adopted federalism to manage its deep ethnic, religious, and cultural diversity. With over 250 ethnic groups, federalism was meant to prevent domination by any single group, protect minorities, and bring government closer to the people. The Constitution divides powers into 3 legislative lists. The first legislative list is the exclusive legislative list. This contains powers reserved for only the federal government, including defense, currency, foreign affairs, and immigration. Next, we have the concurrent legislative lists. This contains shared powers, including education, healthcare, electricity, and roads. Both the federal and state governments can make laws here, but the federal law takes priority if there is a conflict. Finally, we have the residual legislative list. This includes powers not mentioned elsewhere and is meant to belong to the states. Nigeria's federal system evolved from colonial rule. The 2 constitutions that they had at the time was the Richards Constitution of 1946. This recognized regional diversity. The second constitution was the Littleton Constitution of 1954, which formally introduced federalism. At independence in 1960, Nigeria's region had more autonomy and control over resources than states do today. The goals of federalism remain clear: national unity, inclusion, regional autonomy, and fair power sharing. In summary, federalism is about sharing power to keep the nation united.
Sectors, including manpower sourcing and supply, engineering services, construction and fabrication works, specialized procurement and supply, operations and maintenance services, and integrated marine services, delivering supply boats, crew boats, tugboats, barges, houseboats, and speedboats. At DERSAG Engineering, we are committed to quality, safety, and timely delivery, ensuring that every project meets and exceeds expectations. DERSAG Engineering and Services Limited, your trusted partner in delivering world-class engineering and energy solutions.
Monday, Tuesday, you coming with a scene. Ay. Thursday, you gon' meet Baby King. Friday, I'ma see you to your knees. But on Saturday, we practicing the birds and the bees.
time, the Act has been amended to respond to emerging challenges, including the introduction of technology, court rulings, and public pressure for transparency. But critics say these repeated amendments have created a law that is bulky, inconsistent, and sometimes unclear. That concern has given rise to calls not just for reform, but for a complete repeal and replacement. So what exactly does repeal mean? A repeal means scrapping the existing Electoral Act entirely and replacing it with a new legal framework. Supporters argue that starting afresh allows lawmakers to remove contradictions created by repeated amendments, clearly define the role and powers of INEC, fully integrate technology into the electoral process, introduce stronger punishments for electoral offenses. In their view, the current law is like a house renovated too many times, still standing but structurally weak. Let's examine the case for repeal. First, supporters argue that the Electoral Act is no longer fit for modern elections. Technology now plays a central role in voting and result management, yet the law still leaves room for ambiguity. Second, a repeal offers comprehensive reform, not piecemeal fixes. Instead of amending one section at a time, a new act could present a unified, coherent electoral framework. Third, proponents believe a new law can better protect INEC's independence, insulating it from political interference while clearly outlining its responsibilities. Finally, repeal advocates argue that tougher penalties, clearly stated and strictly enforced, could reduce vote buying, election violence, and manipulation. To them, repeal is not radical. It is necessary. But critics say the risk may outweigh the benefits. One major concern is timing. Electoral laws, they argue, should not be overhauled close to the elections, as this creates uncertainty for voters, political parties, and election officials. Another fear is political manipulation. Opponents worry that a repeal could be used to introduce rules that favor certain interests under the guise of reform. There's also the issue of legal disruption. Election cases, tribunal decisions, and judicial precedents rely heavily on existing laws. A sudden repeal could complicate ongoing and future disputes. Critics further argue that Nigeria's current Electoral Act has already improved election credibility compared to the past, and that targeted amendment voters arrive at polling units. They determine how candidates emerge, how campaigns are funded, and how results are accepted. A carefully planned repeal could modernize Nigeria's democracy and restore faith in elections. A poorly handled repeal could deepen voter apathy and political suspicion. In democracy, how change happens matters just as much as change itself. Nigeria's democracy depends not only on elections, but on the credibility of the rules that govern them. That is all on today's episode of Explained. You can follow us on all our social media platforms, like, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.
This is TVM. TVM delivers breaking stories, global headlines, and the moments that matter. From exciting sports action to exclusive local events, we keep you connected. Celebrate our culture, people, and voices with powerful documentaries and inspiring stories. Experience premium entertainment, from trending music to urban lifestyle and beyond. Grow your spirit with life-changing messages and uplifting perspectives. Lead the way with bold conversations, fresh ideas, and thought-provoking shows. Wherever you are, whenever you want, watch TVM on all your devices. TVM, your world, your network.
Today on 700 Club Nigeria, a woman's obedience leads her to unexpected places. A woman encounters God at a very young age. Plus, a young boy's heartfelt cry for help. All these and more on today's episode of the program. Welcome This is 700 Club Nigeria. I'm Angel Simon.
And I'm Modupe. It's a pleasure to have you join us today. We have crafted this episode with the hope that by the end of it, you'll find the answers you seek and feel at peace with the process God is guiding you through.
Sometimes it may feel like your goals or desired destinations are taking too long to reach. However, it's important to
from knowing that I needed to package this thing and I needed to obey this thing to the letter.
But these came with uncertainties.
It's not like I obey immediately. I was too afraid of failing. I was too afraid of being rejected. I was too afraid of what if it doesn't work out. I think that we lose out a lot because we are too afraid of the worst case scenario that we don't take action.
Nneka published her first book. She decided to bring it to church.
I remember getting to church with the first bunch of books. And then the first person, lady I used to buy bed sheets from her. And I'm like, Gina, my book is here. Nneka, how much is it? 1,000 naira. Okay, I will buy. And I'm like, you will buy? And she says, now. So I give her the book and she